What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Thursday Night Thriller, live here on the Vortex Racing Network. We're coming to you live from Phoenix as practice is round. Wait, now it's a little loud. Let's put this down a little bit. We're too pumped up tonight. A little too pumped up. Let me just adjust this a little bit. As each night I do this, I try to break it. I try to break what I'm doing here on the network, but with that, let's say less and do more here. I'm sorry for that. We're here tonight. This is the cutoff race to make it into the final four. We're gonna go over this very crude drawing I have, but is this the one I was looking at? No, this is the wrong one. Let me fix this image. As you guys take in the qualifying session right now, we'll have the ticker up on the left-hand side. You can see exactly who is putting up some fast times right now. All right, here we go. We're getting in the new one here, loading it up. All right, there we go. David Owens is more than likely locked in on points. Patrick Calgill won. And Matt Tucker has won. Patrick Calgill won at New Hampshire last week, and the week before that, Matt Tucker was able to win himself in. So, if you do the math, that's 3 spots taken right now in this series. Everyone else is fighting for that last spot, and holding on to that last spot is going to be Alex Hillman. Alex Hillman sitting at 97 points. AJ Binish is going to be basically 3 points behind the bubble. And then you have Joseph Volpis quite a ways back from that at 86 points. Steve Lewis is at 85, and I don't think we have an Andrew Bolander sighting tonight, so don't count on Bolander being here tonight. So between Steve Lewis, Joseph Volpis, AJ Binish, and Alex Hillman are going to be your truck drivers to keep an eye on. That are going to be fighting for that last spot. I don't see anything really going to be knocking David Owens out of that spot tonight, but you never know. But I think he's mathematically in. So just keep that in mind. Drivers in green locked in tonight. We're fighting for that last spot to go race at the end of the next week at the championship race. So keep that in mind as we keep going forward here tonight. And yeah, let's take a look at some of these trucks out on the track here. If we can, here we go. There's Zach Panzarella in that number 12 Sim and Destroy Racing Co. truck. Looking great there, Zach. Great addition, as that was a collaborative work there between Daily Drivers Inc. and Sim and Destroy. Very nicely done. We got Patrick Calgill out on the track. And speaking of Patrick Calgill, we got the Calgill cam tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look, see if we can check out those driver cams. And there's Patrick on the right and Chris on the left. As we have these two fine gentlemen. If you guys are tuning into the stream, go ahead and give me a wave as you guys are live on the Vortex Racing Network. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to trim up Patrick here and Chris as we get them dialed in there. I'm going to put Patrick down a little bit as you can see his determination in his eyes already. So we got Patrick on the right of the 31 and Chris Calgill in the 03 on the left. So that's our driver cam tonight. We're proud to bring you that. So something else to look forward to here on the Vortex Racing Network. Remember, type in chat if there's anything going on with audio issues or if something can get adjusted. Chat is the best way to get a hold of me. So we're qualifying less than 2 minutes in. Owens is at top of the board right now as he has put down a burner at a 26.86. So definitely into the high 26s, which is very fast. Patrick Calgill right on his tail. Very close, only a tenth of a second behind. Volpis right there as well, and Tucker. So trucks that need to win tonight are right there, going to be starting off for us tonight on the race. So they'll be up in position already as we get ready to go live here from Phoenix for the cutoff race, going from 8 drivers to 4 as the excitement continues here on this beautiful Thursday night. And as we get ready to go, let's gonna run our Drive for 5 ad. If anyone's out there watching, this is a big race we're having February 14th on Valentine's Day earlier in the morning, but it's going to have quite a bit of prizes. So take a look, scan that QR code, and hope to see you there on Valentine's Day. All right, that was our little ad for the Drive for 500. Remember, scan the QR code, get yourself signed up for the race, as it is proud to have put on a great show and have lots of prizes for you guys and a huge trophy. All right, looks like we're getting ready to go racing. Steve Fugit is giving the address to the drivers right now. Oh, I need to fix. Tower. We want laps. There we go. Sorry guys, I'm just listening to him give us some info. All right, Steve, if you get there, admin addressing the series, letting them know when the stage break's going to be, and that's a great question for old Kevin, as I'm always left in the dark on what's going on with the stages. Let me look it up real quick as we're getting ready to go live here. I worked hard on everything else except the important stuff, right? All right, I got it right here. Okay, Phoenix stage is going to be at 50. All right, guys, so there you go. Fuel at 55%. Something else to keep in mind. The championship race is going to be held at Kentucky. They ran Kentucky earlier in the season, but this was voted by the drivers to be their race. So that's where they're racing. But right now we got 120 laps here at Avondale, Arizona. 120 laps, 50 is the stage break. And we're about ready to get rocking and rolling here. Let's see if we get some trucks on the screen. There we go, finally. I can barely hear the trucks on my end, but I might just be going deaf. All right, we'll turn down the music a little bit. I'm sure you guys can hear me just fine. Make sure we don't have the trucks too loud, but here we go. They're rolling off the pit lane, and we're going to be getting some live racing action here in the Thursday Thriller Truck Series, presented by the Moonlight Racing League, brought to you by the Vortex Racing Network. So proud to be here on YouTube with all y'all. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. It helps us with the algorithm, helps us keep doing what we're doing, bringing this awesome racing action to you guys as much as we possibly can. So very excited to continue that on. As the pace car is off already, and we got 14 mother truckers ready to rock and roll here as they're coming off turn number 2. They got the long back stretch. There you can see how the pit road is on the back stretch here. A little bit of a different setup here at Phoenix. And now remember, off this green start, they're going to have that nice dog leg that they're going to be able to cut down and use to their advantage as we get ready to go live here. 120 laps in the desert as David Owens brings them around to the O'Reilly restart zone. And here we go. They're off to the races, folks, side by side. Drivers looking for a win to make their way into the championship 4. We got trucks going every which way. Pandemonium. They keep it clean so far, headed into turn number 2. Checking in on our driver cams right now. This is the Patrick Calgill and company. There's Chris. There's a look at Chris on the left. Patrick Calgill right there holding that steering wheel like a madman. Got the gloves on and everything, trying to chase down David Owens right now as those bare arms are showing the strong brawn as he looks like he's been doing years of driving that truck without power steering. So there's a shot at our driver cam at the moment. We're going back live here on our live shot, and Patrick Calgill's got David Owens in his sights. Caution is out. Caution is out. It looks like Chris Calgill might have crashed as Patrick was right on the bumper of David Owens trying to make that pass. Let's take a real quick look at Chris Calgill's accident. Push play on this bad boy. See exactly. Oh, car up in the upside. That's the 13 of Joseph Vulpes. Chris just gets loose and gets pulverized by Matt Novella. Hits the 21 of Winstead and gets going again. But I really want to take a look at Joseph Vulpes as Joe got up into the wall. Let's rewind this thing and see exactly what happened. Ooh. Oh my. Okay, let's watch this again. Oh, the Sim and Destroy truck comes up into Joseph Vulpes, and he gets a 2-for-1 in the upper pocket with AJ Benish and Joseph Vulpes, as that takes a little shot there from the number 12, making himself known there early on in Phoenix. And we got trucks already coming to the pit stop, bringing it down maybe for some fuel, checking some damage. Let's look at AJ Benish here bringing it down. Joseph Vulpes in a 13, the two that were involved in that billiards move by Zach Panzarella. So there we go, folks. Already caution number 1. As we're under caution, let's go ahead and take this little time for, I think I got another, what do I got going on here? I think I got to take a break screen. Oh, yeah, here we go. There's that QR code, you guys, for the Drive for 5. Once again, and then we got our double headers. That was our schedule there on for the whole VRN network. And then we got our double header Mondays, ARCA series at 5:30 Eastern. Monday, and then Monday Night Mayhem following it right after. There's our Drive for 500 logo. As always, trying to get, and then we're very happy to be a part of Daily Drivers Inc., being a part of the broadcasting. A lot of great merch, a lot of great stuff that Daily Drivers have. And also introducing Sim and Destroy Racing Code. Make sure you guys check them out. And that is our sponsor list right now. So appreciate you guys all the love and everything going on with all this great community. This race here, as they're still under caution, looks like AJ might be topping off again or getting some more damage repaired there in that number 5. So keep an eye on the 5. All right, see if you could giving out some driver instruction that he wants no one cutting down below the yellow line. He's saying he doesn't want anyone cutting below the yellow line before the start-finish line going into the dog leg. So keep an eye on that, if that's going to be enforced or not, or if drivers are going to be abusing that. But right now, Patrick Cowgill on the inside row with David Owens. They're going to get another restart now. Watch for Owens to get a good start as he is the control car. Zach Panzarella, after that contact, is going to move himself up into the second row, side by side with the 25 of Matt Tucker. Alex Hillman also in a great points spot, in looking in that 4th spot up at the top of the list right now. So a lot of these playoff drivers at the top of this positioning, making their way to see if they can get some stage points. As you can see all the truck drivers fan out, take that dog leg, and David Owens is going to assume the lead once again in that number 8 truck. On board on the back of the NOS Energy pickup truck here. There's a shot at Patrick trying to chase him down. Patrick's going to go out to the outside on David. David's going to take that dog leg. And here they come into turn number 1. Very flat turn here at Phoenix. Now onto the backstretch here. Patrick looks like he's got a little bit of a run. Let's see if he's going to do anything here with it. He did catch up to the Owens earlier. Oh, another caution is out. Tommy Fox, Joseph Vulpes, Zach Winstead, all are popping up on my screen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look and see what caused this. Tommy telling him, sorry, I got hit from behind. Let's see what transpired here. There's a look at Tommy. Oh, no, the 5 and the 13 collide. The 5 and the 13 have not been having the start to this race that they wanted. All right, let's see what happened to Vulpes first, because I think Vulpes was up in front of him already having some trouble. Let's go ahead and just roll this back live. Gets underneath Alex Hillman, maybe too much pressure. Steve Lewis misses him, and the 57 and 5 have nowhere to go and checks him up, and that's big damage there to the 13. Vulpes, looking to have a great night tonight, is not off to a good start. This is going to be very detrimental. Remember, they do have fast repairs, though, folks. This league likes to you know, they do have fast repairs here, so I believe Joe might not be in too bad a shape if he hasn't used it already, but we do have pit stops being underway right now, as David Owens is bringing it in, topping off. So you think right now that David can make it to the end of the stage, and why drivers are topping off. Drivers that did not top off is Patrick Cowgill in the 31, Tucker, and Zach Panzarella all staying out, thinking there might be some more cautions here earlier to come. Or fuel's not an issue for them at this moment. So we'll keep that in mind here as we're back under caution. Second caution of the night, only 14 trucks and already a couple cautions. And let's have another word from our sponsor, Sim and Destroy Racing Co. guys. Probably need to slow down those thumbnails, kind of going flying at you real quick, but all right, that's my little side gig I've been working on. Thanks to Zach for helping me out with it. So I'm just shamelessly plugging this because Thursday Night Trucks, they let's just say I'm doing them a favor. All right, back to the racing at hand. It is starting to get tight already. Tempers are flaring. I can hear lots of cussing going on in the pit lane. So we'll see how this all pans out. Pace car lights are off. Cowgill is going to have the lead, the control car. Pace car is off. Here we go, folks. Cars are way back there, not tightened up at all. And here comes the cavalry from the back. Looks like Joe's going to get some of that damage repaired. I'm thinking he didn't use his fast repair since he's taken so long to get caught back up to the field. All right, O'Reilly restart zone, and away they go. Patrick off to the great start. Tucker going to follow behind. Panzarella, Alex Hillman, DDI drivers side by side, headed off into the dogleg. Here comes Steve Lewis, captain of Crunch in the 88. And there you can see David Owens in the further in the back in the blue and orange truck. Ford Noss trying to cut his way back up to the front. AJ Binish was involved in that earlier incidents, so not sure if he's... Oh, as Novella hits that outside wall awfully hard. Big time hit there to the 56 of Novella. Oh, Novella loose up at the top of your screen. Novella holds on to it, but he is worse for wear. We're not sure what kind of nonsense he was caught up in. All right, Patrick Cowgill is your leader, followed by Matt Tucker. Both Patrick is locked in. Matt Tucker, remember, Matt Tucker looking to punch his way in. No, Matt's already punched in. I'm sorry, boys. So the number two trucks already punched in. We're worried about Alex Hillman, AJ Binish, Joseph Volpis, and Steve Lewis are your trucks to keep an eye on here tonight. All not highlighted in green. So those are your four trucks to keep an eye on tonight. Tucker, Cowgill leading up at the front, have won their way in. Not anything of playoff consequence. It's just going to be on points if one of these two were to finish the race up at the front. All right, side by here's Chris Cowgill working on Steve Lewis. Oh wait, the captain of Crunch himself. Here's Joe Volpis there behind, trying to make his way through. I feel like Joe might have used his fast. I don't know. Did he get all that damage repaired? He might have came back and used his fast repair. Pit lane time was not even, looks like it wasn't even a second. Or, yeah, it looks like it was very short. He might have just gone in there, hit the fast repair, and left, thinking that he had too much damage on that truck. AJ Binish, pit lane, he was in there for 5 seconds, maybe topping off with fuel. But AJ did not look like he took too bad of shots there. There's Alex Hillman right now. Alex in the great point spot to get himself into that fourth position to get into Kentucky for the championship race. But the driver behind him of AJ Binish looking for a huge point stay here to sneak that spot away from him. He's battling it right now side by side with the 21 of Zach Winstead. Awesome looking paint job there. Looks like that's Lord of the Rings inspired there from the 21. You know how we can tell if we go on board with AJ. You might be able to see that paint job. That's right. You shall not pass. Oh, and got the dragon on the side. Not the dragon, it's the guy that takes him down. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings buff. My wife is, though. She would know who that creature is on the side of that truck. As AJ's backed off of Winstead a little bit, trying to give him some space. All right, Joseph Vulpes now looking to make a move underneath Chris Cowgill. They're going to be side by side, maybe entering turn 2. This is a very wide and sweeping turn, very flat though. Turns 1 and 2, a little more banking. Joe lost control here earlier in the race, started off his day on the wrong foot. All right, AJ starting to close that gap back on Zach. Look at that summer shandy, number 5 from AJ Benish. As Benish is trying to pull a shandy on old Zach Winstead here. Let's take a look at this back. Oh, look, the Eye of Sauron right there. Oh, as AJ goes on the inside. AJ's making his move. And there is AJ makes the move there as we're too busy seeing the Eye of Sauron on the back of the truck. It looks like AJ's going to get that position, move up to P6 on his way back to his rightful spot at the top of the podium here. Patrick Galgill doing a great job up front. He's got a 4/10 of a lead over Matt Tucker. Zach Panzarello, though, 2 seconds back there. See if Zach's saving some tire or saving some fuel to make it to the stage. Be very curious to see what these boys are doing on that end. Shot at Alex right now, holding on to 4th place into points. Going to get himself, try to point his way into this thing. Further back in the pack, you can see that battle between Zach and AJ's loosened up a little bit. As the 21's starting to maybe lose a little bit of speed because here comes the 8 of Owens. 8 of Owens is starting to really catch up to the 21. There's Chris in the back. And what happened to Joe? Joe was side by side with Chris, but not able to hang on as Joe's just starting to slow down a little bit. But fuel could be a concern here. Remember, lap 50, it's only paying off the top 5 spots. Okay, and that lead up front is starting to get tighter. Go back to our driver cam. There's Patrick on the right, the 31 on board with him right now. His brother's on the left, Chris Calgill in the 03. And he's getting chased down right now by the 25 of Tucker as these two have been battling out all year long. I think these two had an issue at Pocono. So remember, no blood loss here between the 25 Pib Extra and Patrick of the 31. There you can see Matt just did not have the run of momentum on the outside there coming through the backstretch. And here's turn 1 and 2 here at Phoenix. Looks like Matt might have had a little bit of better run here. Great run there by Patrick Calgill. But it looks like Matt's going to have a run here on the inside. Keeping our eyes right now on this battle for the lead. Further back, you got Alex Hillman, AJ Benish now. Like I said, I think Alex starting to go backwards just a little bit, but AJ moving his way forward as these two are side by side, headed out of 2. scrapes the wall, comes back in front of AJ. He's going to cut the nose off, and here comes Steve Fugit, just an innocent bystander trying to hold on to fourth position as these three trucks are battling it side by side, but both trucks here, AJ needing to get by the 08 and score as many points as he can tonight to have any chance of moving his way on to the championship races. They're 3 wide here at Phoenix, folks. Unbelievable racing action here on the Vortex Racing Network Moonlight Racing Series. As they're 3 wide again through another corner, and Steve Fugit takes the damage of that one. And the number 3 of Chris Calgill is gonna, looks like he brought out the caution here. I'm not sure who had position where. It looks like Alex Hillman might have had position there while the yellow flag waved. Let's take a look here and see what happened to Chris. Oh no. Chris hit the transition there. That's what happened to Chris. I'm not sure what he's saying about came down on him, maybe at an earlier sequence, but you can see Chris getting loose there out of the dog leg. Tries to hang on to it. Steve Lewis had nowhere to go. Gonna hit him right in the rear end. That's probably gonna project him into that inside wall. You got punted. He got punted because he got loose. 88 had nowhere to go, in my opinion. And they're talking on the radio right now about it. 03 thinks he got punted. I think he got loose, and that's why he got punted. But anyways, we'll have to take a look at it later. Is that massive damage there to the 03? Unfortunate there for Chris Calgill as they're bringing it down pit road. There's Alex Hillman. Trucks coming in and get pit stops. Looks like Owens stays out, Benish stays out. We were talking about them saving enough fuel to make it to the end, and it looks like that's what David Owens is up to. But so AJ Benish is trying to make it to the end on fuel. Now he's got the track position, and now it's going to be a mano-a-mano battle between these two big timers here, big strappers in the league. As we're lap 31 out of 120. Great racing tonight here at Phoenix. Even with this 14 truck field, these guys are putting it all on the line, and we're having some great racing right now. I'm going to bring up that standings chart just so that everyone's refreshes where everyone stands right now. Remember, Patrick and Matt have won this round. They have pointed their way in. I mean, they've won their way in, I'm sorry. David Owens is in on points. Alex Hillman right now is there's only one spot left to get in the final 4, and Alex Hillman is holding on to it. Hillman finds himself back in 7th. AJ Benish is hot on his tail. He's on the front row, and you can see that points gap is only 3 points. So AJ trying to get every point he can. Stage win, stage points, everything's going to matter here at the end, as this is the battle to keep an eye on. And then you have the dark horse of Joseph Volpis there in 5th position on points, and he's a little bit further out looking in, so he needs to try to find some stage points here as we get ready to go back live racing here at Phoenix on lap number 33 as the pace car turns off into the pit road and the trucks are heading down the backstretch here at Phoenix. AJ's your control car, taking the inside lane. Let's see what kind of jump he can get on Owens, on older tires too. Holds it, holds him. Stacks him up just a little bit, gets a little bit of a jump. It lets Matt Novella, AJ trying to hold on to that truck. The 5 all over the place, trying to hang on, and he does, as those older tires did cause an issue. But here comes Matt Novella, back from that earlier incident, up on the front row, trying to chase down the 5. Owens looks at the inside of Novella, got the run, and it's going to take, but Novella on his door. He's not going to be able to hang on to more. Matt Tucker gets up into Novella. Novella barely hangs on there. That was a close call between Novella and Tucker on the exit. Really tight racing here further back in the pack. Matt Tucker, David Owens, side by side. Novella, I'm sorry. Novella's fighting back on Tucker. Tucker's going to go ahead and get that spot. Last pit stop. Matt Tucker, fuel only, it looks like, or maybe right sides only. Matt Novella, 5-second stop. Steve Fugit took tires, I believe. He had a 14-second pit stop, so the 94 should have an advantage here if he's on four freshies. Jeff Pfeiffer. Oh, Matt Novella loose! Slides up and down the floor, up and down the safer barrel, takes out Hillman, takes out a playoff driver as he couldn't hang on to that thing. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta go back and take a look at that. We're gonna go up to the farmersonlyblimp.com. We might even be calling it the Sim and Destroy Blimp from now on as we take a look at what happened here. We're gonna go slow-mo. Matt gets up into, it looks like Matt gets up into the Tucker. And Tucker, oh, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. That gets Matt all out of sorts, back up in front of the 08. Matt's just trying to hold on to this thing because he's going for a ride. And then the 25 just goes in and gives him another shot. The 25 hit Matt Novella twice, and Matt Novella got up into Hillman. If I'm Hillman, I'm really ticked off. Okay, let's rewind it again. We're gonna see how this whole thing started off again. All right. Oh, we saw how it started. Let's see how. Let's go back a little bit. All right, we're just playing it live here. Yeah. I'm not really going to say too much more about it. I feel terrible for Hillman. Hillman had no business of that happening to him. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, and that might be looked upon by the league officials. I don't know what kind of anything's going to happen, but that just damaged a championship 4 driver. So I don't know. Doesn't look great. A lot of things haven't been looking great, to be honest with you. Last week in New Hampshire, some things didn't look great, and now we're having some other issues here. So, all right, things to be talked about later on, I'm sure, between the crews. There might be guys waiting for each other with shorty shorts in the trailer parking lot. But that pace car lights are off, and we're getting ready to go back live racing here at Phoenix. Hopefully Hillman, not too much damage. No, Hillman's still in the pits. 4-second stop. Maybe he uses fast repair. Hopefully he has it. Matt Novella. I don't know. We're going to have to keep an eye on the Novella and Tucker for sure. All right. They're coming down the backstretch. 11 laps to go to the stage. Alex Hillman's truck doesn't look too bad. I'm sure he used his fast repair right now. So hopefully Alex is okay, but now we got to be careful. That's his one life to live right there. Alex Hillman's gonna be starting to back, not for a chance for stage points. Speaking of stage points, we got Joseph Vulpes. He's the man. Look at Geico O'Reilly restart zone, and away they go. This is getting really juicy. And there's Owens out to the big lead. They're racing tight up front, side by side. I'm hearing they're calling for a black flag clear. Not sure what happened there or what driver it was. As they're side by side, that's Patrick Cowgill and AJ Binish, two of the best in the league right now, battling side by side. Steve Fugit there in the 94 with some fresher tires, hanging on. Four wide there through the dog leg. Matt Tucker trying to make his way through. There's Jeff Pfeiffer's truck. Joseph Vulpes trying to stay onto that top 5 spot for stage points, but I don't think it's going to happen as he's under duress. Joseph Vulpes losing spots now, back to 6th place. His chance of getting some stage points is vanishing as he's getting swallowed up by the field. But what a tight race up here at the front of the field. Patrick Cowgill, AJ Binish, David Owens, and here comes Steve Fugit in the 94, making an appearance off the top rope. Here comes Steve. battling it out, taking position number 3 away from AJ. Remember, every point matters here, as if he takes that point away from him in the stage, that could all matter at the end of the race. When they start counting up all the points, that 1 point could be the difference. Steve's on fresh tires. I don't think AJ's going to be able to catch him unless Steve makes a big mistake, but 7 laps to go here to the stage. It is all hands on deck here. Matt Tucker making his way back up to 5th for a stage point. Joseph Full Pistol fighting back in 6th. Would love to get a point or two, especially if AJ is. Speaking of points, Alex Hillman, damaged truck, comes back, has that little bit of a buffer to lead. As long as he can keep that truck on the track and finish well tonight, he should be having a chance to make it. But AJ, I don't know. You know what? If AJ scores some points right now, Alex doesn't get any, it really adds up to be a really tight battle here at the end. But they're going back and forth here. Here comes Steve on those fresh tires. The 94 doing a great job. And you guys got to keep an eye on Matt Novella and Matt Tucker. I'm just waiting for the time when those two come back together again, because I'm sure Matt has got a receipt with Tucker's name on it. Okay, lap 45, 5 to go to the stage. 5 to go to the stage. AJ Binish trying to hang on to get some points, but he might get shuffled out of 4th, as here comes AJ. AJ and Patrick now battling it out for that 4th spot. Matt Tucker in position of 5th. Joseph Fulpis back there just trying to get any points here, trying to stay as close as he can to AJ. But AJ right now in a great spot, going to pick up a couple points over Alex Hillman. And like we were mentioning before, it is such a tight battle up at the front for those points. As you can see, Alex Hillman coming in, this is only 3 points above. AJ trying to get a little bit of side draft there on Patrick. Going to come to the inside on turn 1. What a battle here between the two. Patrick with a great run out of turn 2. You can really feel the tires and the trucks just seem to be going a lot slower. Remember, qualifying laps for 26 seconds. They're running 27.87, so almost 2 seconds slower right now on these older sets of tires. And you can see Steve Fugit doing a great job trying to pick up a stage win here as he's trying to chase down Owens. Gets up in the outer wall there. You can see up in front of us. But on board with the AJ's finish, the number 5 Summer Shandy Silverado. You can kind of see the different lines everyone's taking. As AJ's going to try to get another run here on Patrick coming into turn 1. Oh my, that's a close one there. AJ getting real close to that back bumper. Patrick needs to be careful. Kind of taking up 2 lanes there. That's not going to fly for old AJ Binish. Can't do that too many times to the number 5. AJ's going to take the dog leg side by side with a 31. That could have been the stage right there. I think it's a completion of 50. We're going to get back out of this view so you guys get a better shot. I think it's the completion of 50. Okay, so David Owens looks like he's going to be picking up stage win number 1 million. Steve Fugit's going to come in 2nd place. AJ's going to make it up into 3rd. That's big time points for the driver of the 5. Patrick Cowgill going to pick up 4th, and Matt Tucker going to pick up a point. Not really needed since he's already won himself in. And poor Joseph Volpis, no stage points. Alex Hillman, no stage points. And here's the shark comes. Look out. Keep an eye on this situation. Remember, the 56 and Matt Tucker, all eyes on those two. Nice race off of pit road there. Jeff Pfeiffer going to come out in front of Owens, I think. Or I could be wrong. What? Oh boy, 7602. What does old Winstead's paint job look like? All right, pace car is off here, folks. We get ready to go back live racing here. Lap 54 out of 120. As David Owens is bringing them to the restart zone here at the O'Reilly Auto Parts restart zone. They keep renaming all these zones. I can't keep track of these at all. But here they go. Jeff Pfeiffer up on the front row. New character. See how Pfeiffer does here on the left-hand side. Great jump by the 85 as he's going to bring it down. Remember, you can't go below the dog leg before the start-finish line. And there goes the 5. AJ Benish showing him just how to do it. That was a close call there on the 5. I think it was legit, though, as Jeff Pfeiffer just does not have the grip or the speed right now to hang up at the front. And there goes your leader, AJ Benish, to take to the point there and lead a lap here at Phoenix. David Owens is going to follow behind. Matt Tucker behind that. That's the 25. And Patrick Cowgill following. Oh, Joseph Volpis is loose again, the 13 truck. You can see him lose a little bit of control there as he gets loose again, and they're spread out all over. Oh, they're making contact there. Steve Lewis and Zach Winstead. Is that Zach in that? Yes, Zach's in the Lord of the Rings truck there, old boy, 7602. We were catching it earlier in the race, the Aya Sauron. You got Gandalf, You Shall Not Pass. It is a good-looking truck there, but we got to get back up to the front as we had contact everywhere through the dog leg. Steve Lewis, there's Alex Hillman now trying to make a move on Joseph Volpis. Remember, Alex needs a great run here as he's only 3 points behind AJ. It might even be 2 now. With that stage win, getting some points during the stage, so it's going to be really tight. Alex needs to get himself up to the front. Remember, he used the fast repair, so he's those cats' lives he has is down to 0. So oh no, Chris Cowgill hit hard. No yellow for Chris Cowgill as he's on the apron, praying for a caution, and he's yelling out he doesn't take the dog leg. Well, you know what? He's taking the dog leg another way as he just got shot, put it into the atmosphere. Unbelievable. No yellow, and here comes the leaders. Come bearing down on him. Let's see how this all plays out. There's a shot at the 5. Where's Chris at? Chris there, he got it down to pit road. That's going to end his day. Unfortunate there for Chris, as we're going to take another shot there. We got to see if we can pick up what happened to Chris. All right, we're going to go live. We're going to take a look at it. All right, here we go. 03 down low. Does the captain of Crunch get him? That captain of Crunch nails him, thinking he's going to take the dog leg. Oof, tough break there. Unfortunate there for Chris. I'm really feeling for the number 3 driver, as that was a huge hit there. All right, AJ Benish, David Owens, your 2 drivers up at the front. Remember, AJ looking on the outside in only by 3 points to Alex Hillman before this race started. Right now, he's getting chased down by David Owens. Matt Tucker there in 3rd. He's won himself in the playoffs. Patrick Galgill also has won himself in. Zach Panzarella here for pride and sporting that beautiful Sim and Destroy paint job / DDI vibe, looking great. I really love what Zach does. It's kind of like sad, not sad, but it's depressing when you think you have something cool, and then Zach takes it and just makes it even cooler. But no, I'm just saying I appreciated Zach and the shout out, as that truck's looking amazing tonight. Appreciate it, buddy. As we're going to take a quick little look at that beautiful looking truck. But all right, let's see where we got Joseph Vulpes and Zach. They're battling out. So hey, let's go on board with Zach and see how it looks from his point of view. Man, you can really hear those motors not like bogged down out of those turns. Fourth gear is just maybe too little. You can see the different lines everyone's taking right here. Slap 63 out of 120. We are past the halfway point. We already paid out the stage at lap 50. So great job by the drivers. We had a couple cautions. We should have had another one there for Chris. Chris got the wrong end of the stick there, as he took a huge shot there. Got turned on the right rear quarter fender by Steve Louie, and sent him to the outside wall. We might make a shirt. We might make a shirt for Chris saying, "I don't take the dog leg." As he yelled it out over the radio. He's screaming at the 88. There's a look at the front battle for the leaders right now. A lot of your drivers that you're paying attention to. Joseph Vulpes needs I'm thinking he's going to need a win. He's going to need a win, especially if AJ's running up front like this. Alex Hillman having a tough night, but Alex is back here trying to put the pieces back together, seeing if his strategy's going to play out tonight. And don't forget the Matt Novella, Matt Tucker saga. If these two can find each other later in the race, it's going to be something to keep an eye on, as we think Novella's got a receipt for the 56 coming. You see how rough that dog leg is on him, even entering it and exiting transitions. You can see David Owens' car bouncing. You can see our camera bouncing here on the Sim and Destroy Racing Co. camera, onboard camera. You guys just, I think I'm just going to be an ad machine, a marketing machine by the time this is all over. I'm going to be saying all these different company names in my sleep. A great shot there of the 8. Man, great camera work here. As Owens is really starting to tighten it up on AJ. And speaking of getting tightened up, you look further back in the group shot there, you can see Patrick Calgill, Matt Tucker, and Joseph Vulpes starting to make a move. And there goes Owens. There goes Owens to the inside. Is he going to clear AJ? I believe so. Man, I think AJ's okay with that. I think if AJ needs to win, and then you're not worried about anything. But at the same time, you can't burn the tires off your truck trying to get it now. Owens is making the move now. Getting his stuff hot. He's got the speed right now, but maybe he'll come back to you. But some of these drivers further back in the pack might be biding their time. Old Joe, don't count out old Joe. Joe might be counting backwards too. He's been known to do it, to sneak in a win, as he slams that F-150 down on there onto the transition. You just see how stiff these trucks are with their spring setups. The trucks are bouncing very hard. Excuse me, guys, while I take a sip of I'm drinking coffee. I do not know why. It was left over from earlier today. I just put some ice in it, and now it's iced coffee. All right, what else we got going on right now? This is the closest battle we have. Zach, Patrick, Joseph, and Zach. I said Zach twice, I understand. Chris Calgill, unfortunate for him, still in the pits. Bad break for him. Did not get any help, not using that fast repair. Check the driver cams. And, it does look like Chris is out of the truck. His day is done there, unfortunate for old Chris. But we still have Patrick. You can see Patrick there battling it out, very focused on the task at hand as he's trying to chase down that number 5. And then Which one is this? There we go. We're going to just put Chris aside. I know he had an early day today. Unfortunate for him. AJ still keeping David Owens honest. Good little bracing back here, though. Tucker, Patrick Calgill, Joseph Vulpes, and Zach Panzarella. Alex Hillman needs a... Not sure what Alex is doing. Maybe he's saving some fuel. But the gap now between David Owens and AJ is starting to tighten back up just a hair. Nothing yet to get too excited about. All right, let's take a look at our last pit stops. Everybody 52, okay. Pit stop time, everyone took 4. So everyone up front took 4. I think everybody's on the same kind of strategy right now. So nothing really to highlight there, I don't believe. Unless someone further back in the pack like a Steve Louie, Jeff Pfeiffer, Zach Winstead has something up their sleeve, or even a Tommy Fox back there in 23rd. He might be saving right now, so you never know what these guys are up to. All right, so Matt Tucker is a second and a half behind David Owens. I feel like they're starting to catch. I'll keep an eye on it. I feel like they're starting to catch the leaders right now. This would be really awesome if this plays out still, and we can see them catch them up here on some tire strat. Here's a shot of our own Joseph Vulpes smoking Joe there out of Pennsylvania. 5-time MRL champion, 2-time BRL runner-up. Oh, man. I wonder what else he could put on there. You got Zach Panzarella following from behind. And Joseph's got Patrick Calgill up in front, Matt Tucker. But you can really see Matt starting to put the speed on here. Catching up to that third group like we were mentioning earlier. The gap here between Owens and Binish really starting to pick up. Binish is all over the back bumper here. If these two start battling, look for Matt Tucker to make himself his self welcomed here to these two fighting it out. And there's Patrick keeping in tow. AJ looking even further underneath than Owens there through the dog leg. So is Matt Tucker. All right, lap 82 out of 120. Everyone came down and pitted on lap 52. So that's about 30 laps or so. 30 laps exactly. I don't know. Look for these guys to go another 10. maybe another 10 laps is their window. So maybe we'll have some pit stops happening in a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye out and see. And then that one, and then when they do pit, that should take them to the end of the race here. So we'll definitely see what happens. And I know tires are short on quantity, so that might even be some driver's last set on his green flag run. And there's Chris Calgill coming out of the pits. Got that John Deere 03 machine back on track. Zach just following Joe very casually. Patrick's up in front of them in this battle. Alex Hillman had that huge wreck earlier. He's hanging in there right now at 7th place. I don't know if that's enough, especially if AJ wins. It won't be enough. If AJ wins, he will win his way in, and that would complete the top 4 with no points implications. Steve Fugit there had a fresh tire call, tried to get the stage win, almost did it, came in second to David Owens. Steve Louie had some issues all the race here, got involved with Chris, got involved with a couple other drivers, so Steve not having the day he's wanting. And then we got our fan favorite here, the 21 of Zach. Oh, 21's got some left front damage there to the left side of that truck. Very distraught there. Oh, I think Joseph is getting closer here. Oh no, Zach and Chris are getting a little close. Chris got the fresh tires on probably. Oh, but the battle, let's take a real quick battle up in front. As this is getting tighter and tighter. AJ looking underneath Owens here. Look, I don't know what lap are we on, 87. Look for, if AJ passes him, maybe look for Owens to pit. But no, David doing a great job. Oh, we got people pitting. Joseph Volpis, Zach Panzarella into the pit lane. They're going to try for the undercut. David Owens, AJ Bennett still battling it out on track for lead position here. These guys have a little bit of time to spare. I don't think you can stay out too long, though. This is going to be very interesting. We have a green flag race here to the end. I would love to see it. Now Patrick Calgill brings it down pit lane. Joseph Volpis, Zach Panzarella, 6-second stop so far. They're coming around. They're going to put the lefts on. They're putting left side tires on, folks. Patrick Calgill, Alex Hillman now down pit road also. David Owens, AJ Binish, Matt Tucker, though, they're staying out. Here comes David Owens. David Owens down into the pit as soon as AJ's going to get the pass. He held him off as long as he could, and now he's going to pit. That could be the call right there for David Owens to get another win here at Phoenix. I'm pretty sure he's won here at Phoenix. Not sure if it was in a truck or not, but David Owens might have just made the race-winning move there. Let's see if AJ Binish brings it in next time by. Matt Tucker still staying out on track. It's going to be a 30 laps now to the end of the race. Now here comes AJ Binish, brings it down pit road. Matt Tucker's going to stay out. AJ brings it down low. We'll see where this cycles out as they were side by side. Who had the better pit stop? David Owens right now, pit length time. He's exiting. No, he's not exiting yet. He's getting the left sides on. 4 tires go on that truck. AJ Binish not hitting his pit stall just yet. We'll see if he does 4 or 2. It seems like guys are changing all 4 as this truck is being rough on the left sides as well. All right, let's take a look at the 5 as he's in his pit stop. Okay, David Owens, total pit length time, 54.93. Joseph Volpis had a faster stop by a second. Joseph Volpis right now the winner on pit length time. And AJ Binish is out. AJ takes 14. All 4 tires. AJ's time coming out, 56 seconds. Owens beats him by 2 seconds. There's Owens battling. If you know, if you see Owens and Patrick passing Novella, you know who's next to pass Novella. That's right, folks. We got our eyes on this situation right here. All right, Joseph Volpis, that undercut has got him the lead as of now. He pitted 2 laps sooner, had the fastest pit length total time, and he finds himself in the lead. Can Joseph Volpis hang on to to the tires. Can he manage it? Can he manage the gap, or will David Owens on two lap fresher tires catch Joseph? Very interesting as this is going to play out. 12, the 5 get by Novella just fine, no problem. And looking at AJ Binish, okay, AJ came in on lap 87. So AJ, and he had the slowest pit stop time. So that could be detrimental. That might not give AJ the win. Alex Hillman came in. Oh, Matt Novella's pitting now. Matt Novella pitted. We're not going to see the fireworks just yet. So Alex Hillman, our guy that was in 4th place before, he had a 54.2 pit stop length time. Great job. Him and Joe killed it. Best pit stops right there. Finds Hillman up in the 6th place. And Hillman last pitted on lap 88. So we'll see what AJ... I think he's in a bad spot because AJ pitted in front of him. He pitted later, and he's still up in front of him. So not looking good. And speaking of not looking good, Patrick is looking good. He's right on the backside of David Owens. But Owens has the freshest set of tires out of those 3. The next freshest set is going to be AJ Binish lap 90. And the freshest of them all, Matt Tucker. But Matt Tucker finds himself in 8th place. Now, something to think about. Joseph and David, ex-teammates. I don't even know if they're working in a Discord together. Should we look? Should we look? Should we investigate and see if there's any team orders? I doubt it, knowing David Owens. But I could be proved wrong. Yeah, Joe Vulpes, David Owens in the same chat together. So, I don't know. Vulpes needs to win the race to make it. Maybe look for David Owens to play blocker. I have a sneaky suspicion Owens is playing blocker. Because you can see Joseph getting away. Let's see how David Owens plays this. Oh my goodness. "23 laps. Vulpes is getting away." Owens is staying right there about a 2nd and 7/10. I just want to see how he plays with Patrick. If Patrick can close the gap. Novella in that chat too with Joe and David. Okay, the blockade is forming. If Matt Novella can get by Patrick, it's going to be the blockade. It's going to be the Charlotte Roval all over again. Matt Novella multiple laps down. Okay, here comes Matt to the inside of David. Joseph Vulpes getting more of a lead now, 1.8. And now the blockade has started. The rolling blockade is allowing Joseph Vulpes to sail off into the sunset. It's just a theory, but it's a strong theory. Did AJ Binish really shot himself in the foot with that pit stop? As we could, like I was just pointing it out. Let's see if we can bring it up on screen for you guys so we can illustrate it a little bit better. Pit lane time. Okay, if you guys can read it with me, 53.9, Owens at 54.9, a second slower. Calgill with Owens, Binish 56 seconds. That's almost 3 seconds slower than Vulpes. And look how far back Binish is, 3 seconds. Panzarella a 55. 54s from Tucker. So keep an eye on Tucker. Tucker's 16 seconds back. I don't know what happened to Tucker. All right, well, there's your breakdown, folks. And like I said, I think I got a funny feeling about what's going on here on the track. Because David Owens has been lights out all race. And here he is. They're not catching the leader of Vulpes. Vulpes pitted, short pitted by 2 laps. And still not able to catch up. The time's starting to come down. Maybe Joseph's having a harder time. Last lap was a 28:02 by Vulpes. He is really slow right now. Maybe it was some lap traffic there up in front. You can see Matt Novella. Is he going to push the issue with the 13? It'd be something if they wrecked each other. No, Matt Novella's going to make the pass. I think Joe's just struggling right now with grip. Finish 2 seconds away. He's closed the gap. He's taking a second off. AJ Binish last ran at 27:84. Joe's running at 28:20. Can Joseph Vulpes win his way in on the last race of the season? Will the David Owens blockade come into effect? Patrick Calga seems in no hurry to make a move. This is good. AJ Binish, though, a man on a mission. This guy is on fire. Does he have enough time to catch Joe? Can he get by the rolling blockade of Owens and co? Joseph still struggling. A little bit faster last lap, but back to 28s. AJ, 27:19. Or 27:95. So only 3/10 faster than Joseph. Not by much, but he is faster. All right, AJ and Chris Calgill. There's Chris, made the pass on Chris. Now he's trying to catch up to Patrick here. Joseph trying to hang on. 12 more laps to go, but you can see in the distance the Summer Shandy machine is making a charge. You know who David Owens does not want to see in the playoffs? The number 5 of AJ Binish. That is who he does not want to see. But man, AJ really hurt himself on that pit stop. He really slow. I think that's what happened. If he doesn't win this race or doesn't have a chance to win, we can all look back at that pit stop. As now AJ 2/10 faster now than Joe on that last lap. Patrick now starting to push the subject. Will David Owens let Patrick by? He's going to be a tough pass, especially he's been laying off and saving those tires. He's driving right in the middle of the racetrack. Nothing wrong with that. Brings it down a little bit. Patrick needs to find a way around. AJ, 0.3 of a second now back of the leader. I'm sorry, 4:10. Yeah, now he's got in the threes. He's hovering right down. 3s and 4s. 10 laps to go here at Phoenix. Who's going to make it into the... Oh, they hit. Oh, a little rough shot there. No hit, just the bouncing of the trucks got me a little nervous there. I thought they got into each other. But who is going to make their way into the final 4? Joseph Vulpes can win his way in. It would be a walk-off win, and you're into the final 4 to the Kentucky. Can AJ Binish find a way around these two and get caught up to Joseph Vulpes with 9 laps to go? What is going to happen here? Remember, Joe was involved in some incidents. He must have used that fast repair, got that truck back in shape, and now look at him go. We said he needed to probably win this race, and look at him. 8 laps to go here at Phoenix. And he is doing an immaculate job. The undercut worked, as David Owens is just, he doesn't seem like he's in the way, but I'm not sure. AJ's got to go. This is a frustrating spot to be in, but AJ, you kind of did it to yourself with that pit stop, as we noted. Oh shit! Sorry, I knocked over my drink. I'm sorry. Did himself with that 3-second slower pit stop, and you can see the situation he's put himself in. So it all goes to show you, every part of this race is very important. As Joe 6 laps away from putting himself into the victory lane. And in the final 4, we got a barn burner on our hands. Best racing we have on the track right now, Alex Hillman. This isn't looking good for Hillman. He was in the 4th spot, but if Joseph wins or where AJ's finishing, it's not looking good for the 08 of Hillman. Remember, he involved in that massive wreck earlier too. Might have used the fast repair. As Joseph Vulpes ran at 28.28, AJ Binish ran a 28.30. As that traffic is just too much to get by here for the 5. Patrick trying to make a move to the inside. Not going to be able to make it past Owens there or even get to the quarter fender. If Patrick can get by Joseph and win the race, that would make it back into a points battle, and AJ might get himself in. But neither of these truck drivers look like to be in a hurry to win this race. And there's David hitting the brakes in front of the 31. Now here comes the blockade. we're not on the verge of race manipulation yet, but I feel like this is what's going on. I don't have proof. Oh, as Patrick gets all out of shape, that might be enough for Joseph to get away. Two laps to go here at Phoenix. And this is it. Joseph might have done it. He might have bit enough time off. Undercut worked. Great pit stop. Because the 5 and a 5 and a 31 are just fighting each other. And you got David Owens up there making a block. Doing a great job for his teammate up there. Joseph, last lap, final lap, next lap. This is it, folks. No caution is going to save anybody right now. Joseph Vulpes is going to win his way in, barring anything crazy right now, as Vulpes makes that turn 2 with David Owens staying right behind him. This is probably the only times I ever seen Owens not screw over Joe here, as he's being a good teammate finally. And there goes Joseph Vulpes winning his way in with the help of David Owens, as the 13 puts itself into the final 4 here, going into the championship round at Kentucky. We never got the Matt Tucker versus Matt Novella storyline. I don't think those two paths ever matched up, but would have definitely loved. Oh, Matt looks like he's awfully fast here. Look out. Here he comes. He's on a man on a mission. Matt Novella is a man possessed. Who's he looking for? It ain't Matt Tucker, because he gone. Oh, man, but congrats to Joseph Vulpes and David Owens for the win. David Owens puts Joseph Vulpes into the next round, but not to take any credit away from Joe. Joe did a great job, great pit stop, like we mentioned. Without that pit stop and AJ's pit stop, it wouldn't have happened, because AJ would have been there right on top of him. But because of the undercut, because of Joe's ability to make that pit stop work with one of the fastest pit length time total times, just about 3 seconds faster than AJ, that's what won him the race. So great job there by the 13, and congratulations to the final 4 at Kentucky. You're gonna have Joseph Vulpes. Let's bring up our little sheet. Where's my little sheet? All right, we're gonna have David Owens, Patrick Cowgill, Matt Tucker, and Joseph Vulpes there. You can see him. He was quite a bit of points below the cut line. Going to win himself in to Kentucky. So great job. Congrats to Joe and David Owens there for the win. And let's see if we got any interviews here before I bid you all adieu. All right, let's bring in Patrick, our normal guest we have each and every week. Good evening, Patrick. What a race there. A lot of cautions early in the race, and you guys got some nice green flag runs. How'd it go? Tell me about your race. Tell me about your day, buddy.
I felt pretty good the whole night. That first run or two, got a little tight towards the end of the run, a little bit tighter than I wanted to. So I started dropping on the apron through the dog leg there to see if that would loosen me up, and it seemed to loosen me up just enough in that last run. But I couldn't get a run through 3 and 4, or in 1 and 2. I keep getting them backwards because of the track change. But through 1 and 2, I couldn't get a run on Owens to get him in 3 and 4, which were my better corners. But I'm happy with third.
Yeah, you're already like you said, you had that win in New Hampshire, so were no risk of not making the final four. Just more for bragging rights and pride you're racing for. So, yeah, great job, Patrick. You looking forward to Kentucky? You guys ran there before during the season. How do you feel going into Kentucky? And out of the 4 of you drivers, who do you think has the best shot of taking home the championship?
Sadly, I suck at Kentucky, at least the newer version, and since they don't roll around the old versions of tracks, I don't see myself winning, but I'm gonna try at least, and I think it'll probably be Owens if it's not Tucker.
Okay. Yeah, Owens is really strong there. He's strong at a lot of tracks. So he's definitely one of the front runners there. But like you said, I mean, you got to race the race. That's why they race, and you never know what can happen. So keep your head up there, Patrick. We'll see you next week for the finale at Kentucky. And thank you again. And before I let you out of here, man, get your shout outs out or anything you want to say there, bud?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to my wifey for letting me race. Shout out to you for putting on the broadcast, the guys that put on the league, my sponsor CTN MB1 Connecting Gear, and all my teammates over at DDI.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week, buddy.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. That was Patrick Calgill, the 31. We're going to put him back down low. Let's see. Okay. Before we get to our, I don't know if I want to call them co-winners, David Owens and Joe Vulpes, but let's get Zach in the booth real quick. Mr. Panzarella, how you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, hey.
Hey, man.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? How was your race tonight, man? That truck looked amazing on track there. Appreciate I called it a collaboration there between the two companies because it had some of your vibes and my vibes, and I was just telling everybody like it's awesome to see it on track, but then at the same time, you literally put that together very quickly, and it looks like the coolest thing I've ever seen. So that's a little depressing, but other than that, great race, man. You're out there racing for pride. And how'd the race go tonight? How'd you think about everything going on tonight?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I'm glad you guys like it. Really fun truck to design. Awesome shirts coming out there. So yeah, the Sim and Destroy Chevy Silverado was fast today, especially in the beginning of the race. But yeah, I wasn't even expecting an interview, to be honest. I was in the waiting room to apologize to Joe for what happened earlier on in that race.
Oh,
I thought we were
yeah,
I felt so bad the whole race, and I was happy to see him get it done, and good resilience by him. But I thought we were 3 wide. I got the 3 wide call from my spotter because iRacing doesn't have a 4 wide call. So in my mind, I'm like, cool, I'll fill this gap. Joe's gonna fill this one, and then I hear mayhem above me, and a couple of my friends were watching the broadcast, and then I was like, was that me? And they're like, yeah, that was you. And I was like, oh no. I knew how much Joe was racing for, and I felt absolutely terrible, and he has every right to be upset with me. So, yeah, happy for him. Had a lot of fun out there. Honestly, I think after I had that incident with Joe, I was kind of, I want to say, like, out of it a little bit. Like, I didn't want to be aggressive anymore. Those guys are racing for so much. I've won that championship before. I've been in this race before as one of the final 8. I know how frustrating it is when an outsider, you could say, is impacting things. So I just didn't want to do that again, and kind of tried to dial it back and just kind of have fun, help my teammates the best I could, and not be a problem. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. The new setup is nuts. The car is, or the truck, I should say, is way tighter, but also looser, and dirty air is worse than it's ever been. So love some things about it, and other things I'm gonna have to work on.
Right on, Zach. Well, hey, appreciate you running that truck for us tonight, and appreciate everything you guys do for the leagues, and thank you for being on the broadcast. And yeah, man, I'll let you get out of here. I got to figure out how to there we go. I was like, every time I do down control, or it's always a little sketchy getting back out of it. I think I have it down, but I always forget. So, but all right, Zach.
Hey, man,
we'll look forward to you. Yeah, man, of course, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Kentucky, man. Give them hell when you get there, buddy.
Thank you, man, and shout out to you for this broadcast. Shout out to Daily Drivers Inc., Sim and Destroy, VRN, everyone who makes this league possible. And once again, my apologies to the 13 and congrats on the W. And good luck to all the guys who are racing for a championship next week. You guys have a good night.
Good night, Zach. All right, that was the number 12 of Zach Panzarella. All right, we're going to bring in David Owens first. Got P2. All right, we got David Owens in the booth. Hey, David, how's it going tonight? How's it feel to help your buddy Joe Vulpes to the win there, buddy?
Oh, it's pretty good tonight, Kevin. How you doing?
Good, man. Just it was a great race. A lot of different strategies playing off, and a lot of incidents here at Phoenix. I wasn't expecting so many in early racing, but it ended up happening. And then Joe, I was talking, really mentioning the pit stop, pit length time he had, killed it. I'm going to mention that to him. It was almost 3 seconds faster than AJ on his pit stop time. So that's what sealed the deal there, and especially with the help of you there. I think I called it out over and over again because I could just see it. I could feel it. I could see you kind of helping Joe and like kind of causing a little bit of a block, not a block, but just like, helping him get away a little bit.
Slowing him down some, huh?
Yeah, slowing him down some. I mean, you could have been doing it. You could have just been racing. I don't know. I don't want to get you in trouble on the broadcast or anything, but that's up for interpretation, I guess. But David, let me know how your race went tonight and just what you're looking forward going into Kentucky for the championship race.
Yeah, man. It was a great race. Again, Phoenix, I know a lot of people don't like Phoenix. I'm for one, I do not like watching Phoenix in real life, but racing it, something about it is just fun. It works. It's like Nashville. So it's one of my favorite tracks on here. So truck felt good all night. You could basically go anywhere. Some good up front racing, clean racing up front too. But yeah, the incidents early in the back kind of killed Joe and a couple of the others. So it really came down to that last pit stop, and I knew Joe was going to try to short pit and come out, and I didn't expect it to work as good as it did. So seeing him come by and get the lead, I did what I could to kind of ride there with him. Not really block per se, but make it a little bit more difficult for guys to get around me if I could. So I did expect a bumper at one point, so I couldn't blame him because I was a little bit different of a pace than what I was typically going. So
I feel like if I was behind you and I saw it, I would have just shipped you out. I wouldn't be able to help myself.
I was expecting it. No, I get it. No, I ate full fledged. Like I was expecting it. We had a little bit fresher tires, so like,
yeah.
Big respect to Cal Gill there not moving me, but also I wouldn't have blamed him if he did. So
I think he was having trouble too. He was just having trouble too. It sounded like on the interview, like just catching you and finding the right run, Yeah. So, and I think by the time
really throwing that dirty air.
Yeah, and I think by the time they did catch you, the tires kind of stabilized. It kind of evened out because I know AJ, he was really coming on fire catching you, but then, like you said, just didn't have the air to get by you. So couldn't even get by Patrick either, on the fresher tires. So yeah, definitely good strategy. And like I said, Joseph's pit stop really sealed the deal there for him, giving him that 3 second buffer from AJ.
No, absolutely. Then next week for Kentucky, it's it's a bonfire staple. Kentucky is. So I feel really good going into Kentucky. With bonfire in the trucks and bonfire in cups. So it's another one of those tracks that I do enjoy going to. So, and the competitors that we have in the Champ 4 between Vulpes, Tucker, and Cowgill, The last time I think we went to Kentucky, the 4 of us were all in the top 5, top 6. So it's definitely going to come down to who doesn't make the mistakes.
Yep. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a really good race. Hopefully, you guys have a good turnout and make it a really, even if it's not. I mean, you guys have a good field here tonight, so really excited to see Kentucky with all you guys and see you can bring home the championship here and finish it off here before Christmas, buddy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Kevin. Thanks for all you do. And shout out to my teammates, Vulpes, Novella. Doing what they do, and shout out to Zach Winstead, getting better and better each week. Really trying to get him up and coming and being a better competitor out there.
Right on. Well, Dave, thank you for that. Appreciate it. You have a great night, and we're going to get your teammate in the broadcast booth next. All right, everybody.
Thanks,
that was David Owens, number 8 NOS Energy Truck. Now let's go take a look and talk to Joseph here. Let me get his. Let me get Joe in here. Good evening there, Joe. Congratulations on the walk-off win to get yourself into Kentucky. Very impressive, buddy. How are you feeling?
What's up there, big man? It's great to have you in the booth doing the broadcast as always there, Kevin. Yeah, feels pretty good. I think we talked a couple weeks ago after Iowa, and I said in this round this was if I had to be in a must-win, this is the track that I wanted it to be at. And it just worked out there at the end. Really, really unfortunate stuff happened in the first couple laps of the race. One of them my fault. Another one was some chaotic 4 wide on lap 4. Just put me on the back foot there. Pretty much took points out of play to try and go for stage points and maybe make it in on points. It was all about trying to get the win. And I guess short pitting worked, which... I wasn't so sure with how close they were behind me if it was going to work, but it held on just enough there at the end.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you're going to hand the Phoenix track trophy to David Owens or if you're going to keep it for yourself. Wasn't sure what you guys had planned out there with with his work behind you. I'm just giving you a hard time because even though he did seem like he was helping slow down those trucks, the big play, I think, Joseph, was your pit stop time on that last one. So you ran like a 53-second pit stop length time, and Binish had a 56. So you got down pit road and out pit road like about 3 seconds faster than AJ. And you look at the end of that race, those 3 seconds would have been huge, right? So that's all I was telling on the broadcast. Like every little moment counts, especially when you have these kind of this tier of competitors, and especially such a close race, and if it's going to go green. So yeah, Joe, you wouldn't have been where you were without that great pit stop that you executed. So I'm not trying to take anything away from you. Just it's just too easy to pick on you guys when I can see what's happening.
You know what? You know what's interesting, Kevin? I'm actually glad you brought that up. I didn't know that I had that big of a gap over AJ actually coming on and off pit road. So I'll tell you, when we went to Bonfire Cup a couple weeks ago, when I came out of pit road on that green flag stop towards the end of the race where Jason and I were battling for the lead, I kind of slept coming out of pit road. I didn't know where the exit line was. I thought it was a little further, like how there's that extra line coming out of pit road, like a couple, like a football field in front of where the actual line is. I thought that line that was ahead was the line coming out in the cup race, and I probably gave up the lead because of it in that race. Because I would imagine Jason probably did what I did to AJ tonight, where he got me by 3 or 4 seconds getting on and off pit road, and that was the difference. And I couldn't pass in dirty air. And I think tonight I did a really good job. I'm usually pretty good at getting in pit road. I think AJ and I are probably similar. Maybe he's a little better at getting in probably on pit road, but I made sure that I was on top of it coming out of pit road because I knew where the line was, that I could almost go full throttle in first gear and shifting into second before I hit the line, and then I could just gun it as soon as I hit 45. I think that's probably where I got it, is just remembering what happened in that race and applying it to this one. So I'm actually kind of glad that it worked out that way, because I kind of felt like the on-off pit was probably where it had. Still getting used to the new aerodynamic package. It's a little tighter than it used to be here, so I think I drove the right front off of it a little bit too much there, and that's why they were catching up at the end as much as they were.
Yeah, I haven't been able to tell the difference. I don't really drive trucks that often, so I just kind of get in it and wing it, and just whatever happens, happens. But I know you race trucks a lot, so that's good. That's good to hear your advantage from it. And going into Kentucky, Joe, who do you think has a leg up? I feel like you, Tucker, and David and Patrick are all pretty same caliber type of drivers. Do you have anybody you think? How's your feeling going to it, and then who do you think the favorite is?
Well, Kevin, I think you should have a pretty good understanding of how I'm feeling going into it after Bonfire last week. Running up front. Shame that I would assume, I guess, so AJ doesn't make it in then.
Nope.
And I really feared if he made it in, to be honest. If me and him found a way to both make it in today, somehow, some way, I don't know. I don't think it would have been possible. But if that happened, I think AJ at Kentucky is a formidable force. We've seen it a lot, and I felt like if he was in there, that he'd probably wax us. I think the race next week might be for second between the championship four, if I'm going to be honest with you, just because I know how good AJ is there. But between the four of us, I have a lot more confidence right now, just coming off that good run there last week. I know David's really good at Kentucky. I think Calgill led a good amount of laps last season too. And Matt Tucker has tire saving pretty much everywhere we go, I feel like. So I think it's going to be, I'm really hoping that it's going to be kind of like the race was on Tuesday last week. And hopefully I'll be okay finishing second to AJ in that scenario, because then I'm the champ.
Right. Top guy wins it. There's no more points going into Kentucky, so highest finishing playoff driver will be your champion for this series and Thursday thriller. So, all right, Joe. Hey, congrats, man. Way to walk off and win that win. Congrats. Great job. Looking forward to seeing you guys at Kentucky, buddy.
Thanks, Kevin. Thanks for doing the broadcast as always.
You got it, man. All right, that was your winner tonight from Phoenix, Joseph Volpis. So Joseph wins his way in. Gonna see him, David Owens, Matt Tucker, and Patrick Calgill are gonna be your final four going into Kentucky next week on Thursday. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys here on the broadcast. I appreciate. Thank you guys all for joining us tonight. Look forward to hearing you guys, seeing you guys next Thursday. God bless you guys. Take care, and we'll see you next one.